As Terry at D-Lab. After posting a few videos of opening up different manufacturer capacitors, I had some of you that requested that I open up a CE manufacturing cap and see if they're using individual capacitors inside of this aluminum enclosure. For a bit of history, these CE manufacturing multi-section can capacitors are made with the original Vintage Mallory machinery, which dates back to the 1920s. CE Manufacturing purchased this equipment over 25 years ago from a factory in Mexico and brought it back to the US. So every can capacitor is handmade and tested on this original equipment. It's a complicated process. I'll show you the link here and you can look it up. It's pretty amazing to watch. For the demonstration, I have an intact and open capacitor. These have been provided by Amplified Parts. They wanted to ensure that I was not exposed to any hazards during disassembly. Here is a typical CE manufacturing can type filter capacitor. You can see it has the same casing that you would see on the old Mallory capacitors. These are your mounting tabs, which can be soldered direct to your chassis. And then the multi-section filter capacitor terminals are here. The capacitor is clearly identified with the value and the operating voltage, and it has a date code, which is very important. CE Manufacturing also has a quality control department that tests these capacitors and weeds out defective ones. Here's the capacitor the Amplified Parts provided to me, opened up for your inspection. You can see that there are no individual cheap caps stuffed inside of a tube with silicone. This is constructed as it was in the beginning by Mallory. This is vintage technology that cannot be matched by its competitors. So D-Lab Electronics doesn't fool around with substandard capacitors. Saving a few bucks is not worth the returns and the damage to my reputation. CE Manufacturing has a long documented history. Their capacitors are my first choice for tube amps and ham radio repair. And Poly approves of those capacitors, don't you, buddy? So you know the old saying, there's never enough time to do it right, but there's always enough time to do it over. I eliminate that outcome by doing it right the first time with CE Manufacturing. Check out their products on amplifiedparts.com.